So, if you were to be IVP next year, how would you further promote pre-professionalism within the club through your position of IVP?
Can you repeat that again?
How would you further promote pre-professionalism through your position of IVP? Like, what can you do? What do you have to offer for both board, interns, and general members to really give them an idea of what pre-professionalism is and prepare them for that?
What I would give to general members, interns, and board is basically I would try to have like more meetings that targets pre-professionalism, whether it's like a meeting to have how to like mock interviews or meetings that prepares them through like resumes, like basically workshops. Like try to implement that to my board so they could have more meetings and workshops that kind of like targets pre-professionalism.
Yeah. Okay, so IVP is like a huge commitment as is, and in your platform you say that you wanted to build a foundation of trust within boards that they would know that like, oh, if I need help, this person can help me like pick up the tasks too. So that makes your commitment already like that much bigger, I guess. So I was wondering what your time commitments for next year were, and where PASS would lie in your priorities.
Okay, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I have a lot on my plate. So my time commitments next year is I have 2 jobs. I have school, and then I want to do IVP. It is a big responsibility, but IVP mostly, since I was in board this year, I understand like the struggles of getting work done, making sure everybody's doing their work. But, and I know IVP is a big position, mostly when they do like the big events. And I feel like I could handle the position because of my work ethic, where I am really organized and I make sure I get things done. So basically, if I had an event doing like talent show, if I were doing talent show, I'd be already planning beforehand or like a quarter beforehand. And I know there's I'm trying to like have trust and making sure that if someone were to ask for help, that someone in board would help them, even if it's just me helping them, making sure that they get their stuff done. I would do it.
So you said you wanted to implement more workshops and meetings geared to professionalism. So my question is to you, how would you define professionalism, and how can you help your interns embody that core value that PASS upholds?
Okay, pre-professionalism to me is basically skills that would prepare you in the workplace. So basically, if like the workshops would be more triggered on like resume making or how to dress up for an interview, or how to talk in interviews, and like some advices to give to the general members. Can you repeat the second half of the question?
How will you help your interns embody what professionalism is?
How would I help my interns? Basically, I would, during meetings, of course, meetings aren't just only what work they have to do. Of course, there's going to be workshops and meetings that I would want to like do with my interns. Like, if they have questions about their resumes, or if they have like an interview question, I would try to make a workshop out of it during the meetings, and that's how I would like try to help them.
So you're saying you're defining professionalism more based on resumes and
How you act and your the skills, like in the workplace, yes.
I saw Alex and then Mr. European. Oh no. Oh, Mr.
Wrote something down, sorry. Do you have any plans in attracting more students to PASS and entertaining current members? And if so, what are they?
Plans to attract people
Attract more students to PASS.
to pass.
Yeah, and retain current members.
Retain current members. For attracting new general member pass, I would basically, for that one, I believe we could do that during fundraisers or any events like we do around campus, aside from Facebook or like social media. We could also like try going out in other clubs more often, doing externals, showing that there is a professional club that might be right for them. Retaining club members, I would say just having more events for them, mostly events that they are interested in. This is why I wanted general members have a say in the events that we do. I want to know what they want.
Okay, so if I were to be a new PASS general member, how would you pitch the PASS intern program to me? How would you get me to join the
intern program? First I would, the first time we would, if a general member were to come, and the first time I would introduce myself as IVP, and I would want to know their interests or what their weaknesses or what they want to work on, their own personal goals, and then that's when I would pitch the IVP program. Try to make it appealing to them that yes, you could get that from the internship program. Because it's different for everybody. Someone might say, oh, I need to work on talking to a big group per se, and then I would try to pitch the internship program to kind of say that you could get that from this.
What was one thing that lacked in the internship program this year, and how would you fix that?
One thing that I personally thought lacked this year was a relationship between boards and internship. And I mean the interns, I know them, I'm friends with them, but I wanted a more closer bond. I would want to know how they are, if they have any issues, and if I could do anything to help them. That's one thing I thought lacked.
Joy.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. The ability to recognize and take responsibility for your own shortcomings is essential in an effective leader. Can you give an example of an area for improvement when you exercise this ability and how you plan to apply this learned experience in the future? Sure. Sure. So a time when you recognize an area of your own self-improvement and where you took responsibility for a shortcoming. How will you use that experience and apply it to the future? Give us an example of when that happened.
Okay, so an example of my shortcoming, basically what's my weakness.
Kind of like a goal you set that you didn't achieve. But how can you take that experience, not to say it's a failure, but to say it's a shortcoming?
Okay. Can you say it one more time?
Yeah. So a time when you set a goal or you set out to do something and you didn't quite achieve it.
Okay.
Did you learn anything from that experience?
Yeah.
And how will you
Apply it.
apply it in the future? Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think one scenario was at the beginning of the year. As a board member, it was the beginning, and we were supposed to do a video for to present PASS. And I had a lot on my plate during that time too, but I took the responsibility because my other fellow board members were also busy. So I guess it was the fact that I wanted to get it done, and it wasn't my best. It wasn't as great as I wanted to be because it was a short time and I didn't ask for help. And I think that's one of my shortcomings, is it's hard for me to ask for help. And I feel like since I am going to have a lot of commitments next year, asking for help is going to be something I'm going to have to do. Yeah.
Thank you.
Just so we know, we have 5 more minutes, so any more questions, Mr.?
So the internship program is a pretty big and important part of PASS, and it takes a lot of commitment from fairly young undergrads. How will you inspire your interns to wholeheartedly commit their time and effort to PASS projects?
I would try to make everything we do fun. Basically make it memorable, even if it's just like even if it's just a little small work party, I would want them to like interact with each other and like make it memorable. Like laugh, make jokes, even though they're doing work. Like for me, I got really close to my internships because even though we were working together, and it was because of work, we made memories. We laughed, and then to me, the internship program was like the reason why I chose to stay at board, and I wanted to share that to the interns.
Any more questions? Dan?
I think there's like no more questions. This is like a really broad question, but what does PASS mean to you?
What does PASS mean to me? PASS is my home. Like I went into PASS not knowing what I would get. I just came because I was supporting Rosalie because we were not the same hall, but she was my friend and I was supporting her because she told me she was my board. So, and then there was a day where they were talking about the internship program, and that's when I was like, okay, I could put something on my resume. And so that's where it started. Like, people were just accepting me for who I am. People were like making sure I was okay when I'm like not going to PASS meetings. Like basically it was a place where I felt safe and where I could like just confide my secrets and like my weaknesses, and like people would just be like, it's okay. That's why PASS. Yeah, PASS is my no.
AJ and then Rosie.
So the PASS internship program is the only internship program that offers the Adobe Suite learning about those skills. But if you're to become IVP next year, what else are you going to do to set our internship program apart from all the other schools?
What I wanted to do, if I were to be IVP, what I wanted to do was focus on them. Like I wanted to know what their goals is and what they want. Like I wanted them to, how do I put this notes? I wanted them to tell me like what they want to improve on. Like basically, the internship program I wanted to revolve around them. So if they wanted to work on talking in front of crowds, I would try to like give them assignments to do that. If they wanted to be more out and extroverted, I would give them assignments to do that. So I think that'd be different.
So the internship program can be really stressful, and you'll be managing your own group of people, and not all the time will they give their 100% 100%. How comfortable are you confronting an intern that's falling back on their work, or you just notice that they're not giving their all?
How comfortable am I confronting
Yeah,
that?
and how would you confront that?
If someone wasn't doing their 100%, of course I could talk to them. Like, I'd ask them what's wrong. Maybe there's something going on in their life that's affecting that, or maybe they just, need time away from all the workload and they can't process it. But of course, I'd like try to talk to them and try to find a solution. I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay. That wraps it up for the IVP Q&A session. So students